Welcome back to GB News Live. So it's Easter Monday, so we got those traditional warnings of travel delays and disruption. Of course, many returning from their Easter getaways. Well, Rail Network has got engineering works closing Euston and many services to and from Victoria, parts of the Elizabeth line in London as well. The roads, well, they've got 2.3 million journeys being made today, according to the RAC, including just a few on the A303 in Somerset, which is why we put Jeff Moody there on the side of the road with the traffic crawling to queue alongside you.
It is indeed crawling. It's the price you pay for a weekend away, isn't it, Mark? Where all of these people have been enjoying some early spring sunshine down in Devon and Cornwall. They've now got to head home into the rain, and there's huge queues right along the road. It's not as bad as predicted. The RAC is saying that they're expecting 17 million leisure trips by car to have been taken over the course of this whole Easter weekend. By tonight, they'll have hit that 17 million. That's less than predicted. They were saying that there was going to be 21.5 million. So some people have decided to stay at home. That's 25% higher than it normally is on a weekend, but it is significantly down since the pandemic. It's down 13% on pre-pandemic levels. So more of us are choosing to stay at home. 10,000 flights took off over the Easter weekend. That's up 11% on last year. Again, still down from pre-pandemic issues, but things have been remarkably calm. We're not hearing of any major disruptions at Dover, certainly nothing like we saw last weekend. And apart from the problems here on the A303 at the moment, it has been a fairly easy route for a lot of people heading home because it's a little bit more staggered. Whereas when you come out at Easter, you all come out on the Thursday or early on Good Friday. This is a little bit more staggered. Some people chose to come home yesterday, some coming home today, some coming home later tonight. So it isn't as bad as it could be. Yeah. But it's still pretty bad if you're stuck in it.
Indeed, and obviously the reason being there, you've got Stonehenge where everybody sort of slows down and stops to have a good look. At least you've got blue sky and the sun is shining, but I can see the wind is starting to pick up. We have got this warning, I think, for tomorrow, a yellow warning for the southwest of gales up to 60 miles an hour.
We have indeed. It's supposed to be pretty brutal in the southwest over the next couple of days. This morning in Devon, there was a lot of very, very strong wind and torrential rain, really torrential rain in places. So yes, we've got a bumpy few days down in the West Country before hopefully the weather starts to get nicer towards the end of the month. We hope.
Yeah. OK, I suspect you might be standing out in the rain somewhere for us tomorrow. However, tomorrow's another day, but thank you very much indeed for updating us on the A303. Jeff mentioning Dover there. Let's cross now to that Channel port. And Theo, who's been monitoring the situation there for quite a few days, is going to update us where it's grey and gloomy, but a bit more cheerful on the travel front, I think.
It is, yes, but it's rather windy today, actually. You may be able to see the waves on my left side are pretty high today and the wind coming towards inland. But here at the Port of Dover, so far, so good when it comes to traffic. DFDS, the Irish ferries and P&O ferries have been telling their passengers to give themselves at least 2 hours to get here so that they don't find themselves in traffic. But of course, many of those people will be making their way home perhaps later this afternoon. Many of them coming from Calais back into the UK. Many of them were in traffic over the last few days as I've been here, as they were making their way across the channel. I remember speaking to some people who were in the queues, potentially saying they may have missed their ferries due to the heavy traffic that was here. Traffic management systems were in place, but today, for now at least, the traffic has subsided, and the Port of Dover have put in one lane for coaches in particular to go in, and of course there are some extra officials from the French side here as well to ensure that those extra checks can be made in reasonable time.
And do we think that's what's led to the position not returning to that, I think, critical incident? They described it last weekend, of course, where, you know, people were there for 14 hours. Is it these extra French passport officials? Because, of course, they're literally physically stamping each passport now.
Certainly. So the extra officials and of course staggering coaches, so they don't all come here essentially having to wait longer than they would necessarily have to. So it's a mixture of both. Some will say lessons have been learned, particularly during an Easter break when lots of people are expected to be on the roads and of course coming here to Calais. So perhaps it's working so far, but we'll see throughout the day when many more people may be coming here to get on the ferries as well.